Guys, I finished the first draft of my book. Yesterday, I hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers. Hello, I'm Felicia, a writer by passion, currently working on my debut novel, Project Space. It's a dystopian sci-fi. This week, I wanted to get into it. So if you saw my last video, I've picked it back up. I'm working on the ending. I'm really close to the ending, and I think I can finish the ending this week. So I just feel really excited. There's a lot of bubbles. Every time I sit down to write, I just feel like I'm going. And the story is just unfolding exactly how I want. The other night, as I was going to bed, that little window right before you're like almost asleep, but not asleep yet, I basically got downloaded an entire prominent character's backstory that has always been a mystery. Like, this character has been a mystery to me. I didn't really know what her deal was, but now I know. And it feels very exciting, and like, her backstory could be an entire other book, and I just want to write it, but I want to finish. I'm finishing the book I'm working on, which is the first draft of Project Space. So I think it's really helpful to have her backstory just in my head. I will jot some things down, but like literal bullet points. And I will probably work on writing it a little bit, or outlining it, or doing something with it, exploring it a little bit more when I have the in-between window between draft 1 and draft 2, where I'm planning to deep dive into some of the planets, some of the things, and reverse outline my current book. All that to say, let's get back to this week. This week, I wanted to treat writing as if it was my full-time job, and just like really go there in my mental space, in my body, allow that to give me that go all in feeling, like just pretending it is my full-time job. I have a lot of free time this week, and it's honestly supposed to rain all week, which means I won't be actively working in the garden that much, and I can just sit under my covered porch and write. Though it's very muggy, but hopefully the rain will start to cool things down just a little, but we're getting into summer, so that could not be the reality, but that's okay. Yeah, just going to treat writing like as if I get paid for it this week. I have a lot of time, and I am excited to do that. So today already I have written not a lot, like I think 400 words. I don't really have a word count goal for each day, and I also now don't have a word count goal for the entirety of the book. It's sitting at 77,000 words right now. I was initially anticipating a 100K word ending, but I'm not holding myself to that anymore. I think that by giving myself word count goals in the first quarter of this book was very helpful for me and gave me something to sort of see my progress. But now that I'm close to the end, it's just unnecessary because I understand how the story is just supposed to end. And it doesn't really matter how many words it is, especially because it's just a first draft. So I can just not believe that it is so close. Like I said, I've already written about 400 words today. I just had lunch, and I'm about to just block off the afternoon for sprints on sprints on sprints. So I'll probably just bring you all through this week and update you as I'm finishing this book. So let's buckle in. Buckle in and finish a book with me. Okay, it is Tuesday, and yesterday ended up being such an amazing writing day. I got about 1,500 words just yesterday alone, which is like a pretty big day for me. And yesterday I hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers, which just feels so crazy. It's like the number I had in my head when I first started, so it just it feels wild to hit that, and it truly does just feel like the beginning. Like, I truly feel like I've just gotten under my feet what I like to create, how, like, I don't know, I've loved everything that I've created up to this point, but now, yeah, it just feels like a new beginning of the next phase of this YouTube journey after hitting that goal. So that was really exciting. Hello and welcome. If you are part of the first 1,000, you're truly an OG, and I am just so excited for what's next and what everything unfolds into. But yeah, back to the book. Like I said, I got 1,500 words yesterday. We're chunking our way to the end. It's feeling really good. It was moving a little bit faster than I thought, so I went and I added some elements to the scene that I was on this morning to sort of fill it out a little bit more, or make it make just a little bit more sense to me. So that gave me about 400 words this morning, and yeah, I think I'm gonna aim for about 1,000 words a day until it's finished, or more, because yeah, I don't, like I said, really know the word count that I'm aiming for, but I know the point in the story that I want to end, and I feel really close, but who knows kind of energy. But yeah, we're just giving it our all this week. So I am probably just gonna go grab my laptop and sit out and write in the rain. I just want to finish this book. I'm just gonna finish this book, and I'm so excited for that. And like, the excitement of all the YouTube stuff, I don't know, has almost fueled the flame for the excitement of the book somehow. It's all related, you know? So yeah, again, thank you all for being here. Good morning, guys. It is Wednesday for me. I'm on my second cup of coffee. I did not end up writing anymore yesterday. I thought a lot about my book, but yeah, that's not writing it. I ended up napping like most of the afternoon, even though I feel like I slept okay. I think I need a little diet cleanup. It's hard to navigate sometimes because there was a period like 2 Junes ago, like June of 2024, I stopped eating out, and I was just going to do that for 30 days. I do 30-day challenges for myself literally all the time. That was really helpful because I was eating out a lot. It like wasn't good. That 30 days turned into about 6 months. I really only ate out when I ended up leaving the country for a retreat that was just catered the entire week. Like, what am I gonna do? Try to cook in my little, like, room that has no fridge? No. Like, no, I'm going to eat what is provided. And it was such a gift to be fed after feeding myself entirely for the last 6 months. Like, it worked out so perfect. But that same week, I moved. So whenever I got back, moving, like, yeah, it just sort of broke the bubble of like those 6 months of no takeout. And then it was sort of like, okay, I don't want my relationship to be so rigid because, you know, there's a lot of people hanging out. This actually has a lot to do with my book because my book involves the food system a lot. It's like obviously a sci-fi, so it feels I won't say it feels fun, but it doesn't feel so real here in this realm. But it involves the food system a lot, so this kind of goes with it. But anyway, ever since then, I've kind of been trying to play with the balance, and I've always leaned cooking for myself since then. But I can tell the last few months it's been just a little more and just a little more and just a little bit more like takeout and eating out. And I really want to reserve eating out for the friend element of eating out, like going out to lunch with a friend. Like, I don't want to stop myself from experiencing that, because that's what a lot of people like to do. And that's what I like to do. I love a good bowl of pho, and I cannot make it. If you have a good pho recipe, please hit me up. Yeah, I've just been noticing I'll pick something up, I'll do this, and I can tell emotionally, physically and emotionally, that it's like long term, it's just not good for me. Like, I just don't feel good. I don't feel, and as energetic, I nap a lot. This is all bringing me back to my nap yesterday. And I don't like think napping's bad or anything. But whenever I notice I'm just doing it a little bit more, therefore, like literally not having as much energy, I know that my thyroid is stressed and it just needs to be cleaned up. And it's so hard. It's so hard to get into a space where you're like, okay, I'll cook for myself, especially when you know that in this moment it kind of means just having the same like 5 to 7 meals over and over and over again. I think that's like, there's that boredom factor that starts to come in, but that's all part of the game of it to feeling good. Like, it's like, to be a little bored with what you're eating allows you to have so much energy to feel good. At least me. Like, don't, this is not advice in any way. I am just verbally processing how, like, my relationship to food and eating out and stuff, and how, yeah, I don't want to be so rigid, but I don't want to get to a place where I'm relying on it too much, because it's just not good for me. I'm not completely like as energetic as I could be, and I really like having a lot of energy because I have a lot of stuff to do in this lifetime, and my capacity is just greater whenever I am eating my boring meals. But I will say my partner is a phenomenal cook and knows so many things, and I think there's such a beautiful space for me to learn how to make better meals and become a better cook. I love the idea of cooking. I would love to be a better cook. It's like, I'm on this fence of like, sometimes it feels really easy, sometimes it feels like the worst thing to ever do in the entire world. So maybe this summer I will sort of work on eating back at home, but also really being intentional with learning new meals and new, like, stuff that I don't get so bored and like crave other things so much. It's all related, because seriously, like, this entire energetic and food journey for me is poured into a lot of elements of my book. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to try to talk about. Today we are having coffee. I'm about to make breakfast, and I just want to get out a lot of words. I'm feeling really good about the ending. I still do feel like I am on track to finish this book this week, which feels really crazy. Just timeline wise, this would mean that I came back at it with November with about 16K words. From November to March, got that from 16 to 70K. That, yeah, it just feels like, okay, you've written a really good chunk of a book in 7 months. And then I'm pretty sure last year the 16K words came from, I want to say March and April was really the only time that I wrote that year. So draft one in 9 months, with one month off of writing. So writing actively 8 months for a draft one, which I don't know. And like, time overall, years, because I've started working on this idea in 2024, but that's okay. That's my process, and I'm just excited to get to the ending. Like, I have finished a book that, I finished a first draft of a not great book, um, which is fine. I loved that process. If I didn't write that, I wouldn't have written this probably. So, I love that. But I also don't feel like I really did the ending of that because I was just done with it and I knew I wasn't going to publish it. And I was like, whatever. So this is like the first ending of like the first real book that I have in my head, which is just so exciting. Like I feel like 13-year-old me would just be like, oh my gosh, we wrote a book? We did it! Like, oh, I would be so proud. I am so proud. I am me.
Opening, closing, all in one day. Blue sky, then violent rain. Feeling the dirt shift, sensing the change. The dog has been shaken outside of a grave. Opening, closing, statements or phrase. Radio channels, curses or praise. News and instruction or mitts for the pain. Bad conditions breaking everything.
Guys, I finished the first draft of my book that has been in my head for years, my book that I've been writing since 2024. Like, it's not perfect. It's not like even that polished or anything, but to think that someone could have the Word doc that I wrote, read it from beginning to end, and like know what was in my head and the story that I was trying to create, even just loosely, even if it's like a fancy screenplay of a writing energy. It's not, I didn't write it like a screenplay, but I know it's not polished. I know it's just the beginning of the next step to the process, but this feels so big and feels just like, man, it's just been in vibes for so long, and like now it has a villain and a plot and a storyline, and the characters have arcs, and like maybe it's not all on the page, but it's all like it's in my head and it makes sense to me now, and I know exactly how I want it to finish and polish up to and complete, and I can like organize everything now. And also I cut my bangs, which I know is probably visually very obvious, but I don't know, I felt like I had to, I needed to jump into the timeline of a finished book writer. And now we're here, and I have bangs, and it's just been a big week. 1,000 subscribers, which I've also been working on for like 2 years. Like all of these projects, I don't know, it was the week to like end a chapter of projects. And now we are stepping into just new phases of those projects. And I just feel so much excitement, and there is this energy of like looking ahead and like, oh, we're, you know, on track to like do something before this time, and like maybe start querying in the fall and like all this stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I just finished a book like here. I just finished a book here in this moment. I've been working on it for so long. I don't know, it just feels so good. Like I'm just trying to sit in what I just accomplished. And I don't know, book writing's so interesting because like that accomplishment for the moment is like just for you. I feel like there's nothing really else like that. Like obviously I'm writing the book for other people to eventually read it, but in this moment it's like everything that I've created, I can't show anybody yet. I mean, I said I had my friends reading some chapters, but like that's it. Like it's just an interesting like, man, I did it. I put in all that work. I'm having, this moment. Like, it's just such a weird, like, no one knows it yet, but like, this is just going to be such a feeling that pulls through when someone's reading it. When like there's just going to be all these phases of like finishing up, the outline, finishing up draft 2 to a point that is queryable. Querying, hopefully getting signed. Like, there's all these little sort of phases that make up the big phase of like, a book is in my hand that I wrote. And this is just like the first step, the first hello. We're getting there. Big week. I'll probably just leave you guys there. Also, what do we really think of my bangs? I feel like they're cute. I might do them a little shorter but they curl, so I kind of feel like I shouldn't, because I know they'll probably fall a little differently every time. I've had bangs before, but I've actually never had bangs with my natural hair color, because I've just spent the last like several years growing out the blonde I had in my hair, and this is all my natural hair now. I feel like with the natural hair, it kind of brings out my eyes a little bit. Like my eye color, I don't know. Like, I feel like the blonde kind of washed me out in a way, and now my normal hair color, like, I don't know. I like it. Anyway, sorry, you're too close. Yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm just really excited about all the stuff. It's just been a good week, like I said, and I'm just trying to like momentum that. I will leave you guys there, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Oh, before I go, also, we have, hair down and bangs. We've got that. We've also got hair up and bangs. Like, I think this is what I wanted, was like just more dimension while my hair is up, I think. I don't know. Okay, bye.